Hello loves, it's me, Anjuli, and welcome to my channel. I recently had a TikTok go viral and it has done some weird things to my life and has put me into a weird mental process. So I thought that we would talk about this weird ass moment in my life, why it even happened in the first place, and why this is inspiring me to continue on. So please hit that subscribe button if you would like to hear more about me and my journey to following my dreams, my life as a deaf person, because if you didn't know, I am deaf, and whatever else this channel becomes, because I am always working on putting videos out for you weekly, and I guess we'll get into this. So I had a TikTok go viral. And I have never been viral before. I didn't even know really what viral constituted as, because when my video hit like 1,000 likes, I honestly was like, hey sister, I'm viral. Like I called up my sister and I was like, I'm going viral. And she pretty much was like, okay, sweetie. Okay, sweetie, you're totally viral with your 1,000 views, right? And I went to bed, woke up, and this video had over like 100,000 views. And it was amassing even more throughout the day until at this point it's at 600,000 views, which, if you are not aware, in my brain at least, when I hear 600,000, I immediately go 500,000 is 500,000. I have over 500,000 views on my video. And that is a lot of people perceiving me. That is a lot of people making comments and judgments and asserting their opinions on me. It's a lot. It's a lot. And so let's back up a little bit. Why did I even post this video, or what even is this video? So most of you probably don't follow me on TikTok because honestly, I don't really use the platform. I didn't really use the platform, but I have a TikTok. I will link it below. And I filmed a video of myself singing. And I have mentioned this time and time before. I have always wanted to be a rock star. I didn't know how it would happen. I just knew it would happen. And so I have always been singing, and I used to post covers on the internet. I kind of did it infrequently because nobody really was into them. It wasn't really a thing that people cared about, which was fine. Singing will always be my first love. It is not something anybody can take away from me, whether they're looking at me or not. And so I filmed this video spur of the moment because I was feeling the way that I looked, and then I decided to post it, thinking nobody would see it. And actually, it got taken down. And I didn't know why. On TikTok, they gave me some reason, like the audio was too long or something. But I pretty much was like, okay, whatever, I'll just post this on Instagram. And it did pretty well on Instagram. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna try again and post it on TikTok, but maybe post a shorter version. And in that moment, I didn't think anything would come of it, because once again, I only had 200 followers on TikTok. It wasn't my main platform. You know, if you don't know how platforms work, usually they like when people use their platforms constantly and consistently, and they'll reward you for that. So TikTok really had no reason to reward me for posting this video. It just did, and it did a lot. Unexpectedly, I woke up with this new audience, with all of these questions, all of these, I ended up staying up and trying to answer some of the questions. And I had a little bit of a breakdown because I was like, do these people think I'm rude because I'm not responding? Because on Instagram, everything had been fairly controlled. So as my audience grew, I was able to kind of learn to deal with the larger amount of comments. I was able to grow with the amount of comments I'd have to respond to. This I had no opportunity to grow with, which also, sidebar, really makes me sympathize with small businesses that all of a sudden blow up, because I cannot imagine how daunting it must be to go from maybe regularly 20 orders a day to all of a sudden amassing 500 overnight. I would not know how to handle that. So this video was going viral, and all of these people started tagging all of these artists, all these other musicians, these shows. They were saying all of these things. And I was at first, because as you do as a human, I was like reading all these comments, and most people, I will say actually, literally 99% of the comments are nice. I didn't even have to delete. I didn't have to fight anybody. 99% of the comments on this video are very, very nice. And from what I've heard about TikTok and how mean its users can be, I was very, very surprised at how nice everyone has and continues to be on this video. All of that to say, I still do not need to know what 600,000 people are thinking of me. Sorry, my son just ran by with this toy. But I was sitting there and I was reading these comments, and I am having thoughts in my brain like, what do I do now? What's gonna happen now? My audience is growing. My audience is now becoming bigger than my Instagram. Am I supposed to prioritize TikTok over Instagram now? Even though Instagram feels like my home, my people, my community that I spent honestly years building up, and the relationships I spent years building. I was kind of like, what do I do now? And what now? Am I just a singer now? Am I no longer a photographer? Am I no longer what am I supposed to do? And then I had this thought back to, why did I even post this in the first place? Why did I do this? All of these thoughts are flowing through my head, and I am calling my mother, I'm calling my sister, I'm calling my best friend, and we're all talking, and we're all, trying to make sense of what's happening, because we also don't want to get too wrapped up in it, because how do you get wrapped up in TikTok fame, right? Because it feels like it's so fleeting. It's there and then it's not. So we don't want to get too wrapped up in it, but it was a lot. It was a lot. And so I went to bed, I woke up, and then all of a sudden this video is even bigger. And now I have messages from people trying to work with me. And I have to be careful here, because this is where NDAs get involved. And I know it's so annoying when people are like, this particular person and this particular company. It's annoying, but also it's a thing that happened. It's showbiz. So I have to say this company, this person, whatever. So now I'm having all of these things, all of these opportunities happen to me because of this one video. And it really makes me sit there and ask myself, what do I want out of life? Was this what I wanted out of life? And why did I even open myself up to this opportunity? Being viral, I will tell you, is a very, very weird experience. And I'm not trying to make, my 1 moment of fame, my 1 minute of fame seem like it's going to change the trajectory of my whole life. But honestly, in that moment, it kind of felt like it was, because I had all of a sudden no control over what was going on. And I have seen and heard the horrors of things, of people that got famous too quickly and didn't get the chance to adjust, didn't get the chance to, hire people to help take care of them while they're in this new state of, fame or power or success or whatever. And I, for a minute, was kind of like, I don't know what to do. And I freaked out, and I got off Instagram and I got off TikTok for a minute, because I honestly freaked out. I was kind of like, what now? And then I now had all these opportunities that I had to look at, and I still have opportunities coming in that I have to look at. And it's so crazy, because, and I think I'm getting emotional about it, because my whole life, I knew that I wanted this thing. I wanted to be known for my music. And then all of a sudden I put my music out there, and I'm scared and I'm terrified, and I'm retreating back into myself. And I'm like, why am I doing that? Why is that my immediate reaction is to just go back in and hide away? And I think part of it is because with my photography, I love my photography, but my photography was something I just picked up. My music is my soul. And for the first time, I feel like I am bearing my soul, my thing, my who I am. Because I'm exposing myself to a lot of opinions about me, because it is a little bit unconventional, and the fact that I am deaf, but also the fact that I am a vocalist, and my vocals is my life craft, you know? I can change my technique and stuff, but ultimately this is my life craft and the thing I have worked my absolute hardest on throughout my whole life. It hasn't been photography, it's been music. And for the first time, I'm seeing what it looks like to have that very intimate part of me critiqued and exposed to everyone. And once again, nobody was mean. So this isn't even a matter of like whether people were mean. It's just a matter of the fact that people can comment on it. That really made this feel extremely personal and extremely vulnerable and very, very just terrifying to me. And so one of the opportunities that I got offered, I did decide to turn down because I felt like it wasn't the right thing for me. And part of that was me just assessing, well, what do I really want to do? You know, if I post another video, because now I know you can go viral at any moment. It's like, you know that? It's like one of those things when, you know, back on the internet, like first was becoming a thing and people were like, be careful what you post on the internet because it could come back and bite you. You're aware of that in theory, you just never think it's actually going to happen. And now I'm aware that I can go viral. and with that thought process, all of a sudden, everything is different. Because now I'm like, can I just sing whatever I want anymore? Or do I have to keep singing this particular type of song? Do I have to keep singing the same song, maybe with just different outfits? Like, what are my permissions here now? And all of a sudden, this thing that was mine and that was, you know, my beautiful craft is now a thing that, you know, once again, that I wanted people to know me for is now a thing that people are starting to know me for. And so now I have to be a bit more careful with what I'm doing with it. And so one of the opportunities I did have to turn down because I thought to myself, I did not want to use my vocals and use my voice and my platform and my story in the particular way that they probably would have wanted me to. And because, first off, one of the things that commonly is said on my TikTok that I really wish people understood, you know, understood this: you do not have to feel sympathy for me because I can't hear something the way that you can hear it. I can still hear it. It just, I'm hearing it through my own experience and not through the same shared experience that you have it. And I think a lot of people want to turn my deafness, or people that would want to capitalize that would want to turn my deafness into a story of overcoming or a sad story. And my deafness is just like a thing. You know, it's a thing that exists, but it's not my sad story. I have much sadder stories to share, my deafness is not really my sad story. It is a part of my story, it's a part of my journey, it's a part of the thing that makes me me, but it's not a sad story, it's not a sympathy point, it's not a thing for people to latch onto to feel like, oh, but she's deaf. Oh, like that's not, if you really want something to do that with, once again, I got a treasure trove to give you. That's not it. My ears are not it. And so all of this goes to me thinking about, what do I really, really want out of my life? Because I got a taste of what it was like to have out of my life and I freaked out. And why did I freak out? And where does this take me now? And so I've decided that I think I'm gonna take this opportunity to actually pursue my music dreams. I would really like to get signed someday. I don't want to go on any sort of competition show or any sort of reality-based show, but I think I would love to, I know that I would love to work with a label and be able to put out my own music someday. I also want to be able to be an educator and an advocator for, you know, the idea that we all deserve space and grace to be whoever we are, and space and grace to go and achieve the things that we want to achieve, no matter our shortcomings or our differences, or, you know, our places in life. And I feel like that's something that I've always stood behind anyway, and I've always tried to, in my own way, through my Instagram, really tried to push that message. I think I'm going to use this opportunity to just finally be me, because I already just bared, you know, the depth of my soul. The depth of my soul is my music. And I already bared that to y'all. I basically just stood naked in front of y'all, and it was a terrifying thing that it got picked up. It was very terrifying. I'm also naturally paranoid, so that's like a different fear that I experienced, that I very much so did experience. Having that video out there had really shifted things into perspective for me. And so here I am, just living to tell the tale of the fact that I went viral and it made my brain explode. And I'm going to continue to sing on the internet. I'm going to now, for real, make an actual attempt to talk about my life as a deaf person. And once again, expressing that this is my experience. It's not gonna be a collective deaf experience. But I think I'm going to use this opportunity to be authentically Anjuli. And I say think, but you know what? I know that I'm going to use this opportunity to be authentically Anjuli, because if this has shown me anything, it has shown me that I am truly not living up to my potential. You know, if there's one thing that I realized that, you know, freaked me out the most, is the realization that I am not doing everything that I have wanted to do. You know, I've been playing it very safe, because I've been very scared of failure and of being told that I can't do it. And I am deciding to not be scared of that anymore. You know, it's okay to have that nervousness. It's okay for me to acknowledge that nerves, but I'm not using that as a reason for me to not go forward. Because I, just like all of you, deserve to live the beautiful, big lives that we want to live. And if that's, you know, being a Contessa in Italy, call back to the last video, or being a rock star who's based out of Italy, I think that it is time that I stop hindering myself, because I clearly have so much more potential that I'm just, you know, hiding away in my own little hidey hole, because I've let too many negative voices tell me no, and I let myself believe it. And so this video was quite rambly. I really hope that you got something out of it. I think I'm having a lot of fun with talking videos. I would like to do things that have an actual point at some point. But talking videos right now, because of the way that my life is, even before this TikTok, but because of the way that my life is shifting right now, talking videos right now make the most sense, because it's like a journaling, but it's also like, I feel like this is stuff that I wish I had known when I was younger, that I wish that I had internalized when I was younger, and I just did not. And so if I can help somebody else who is, you know, steps before me get to where I am now sooner, I would love to do that. And so I genuinely hope you enjoy this. And if you do, please make sure you give this video a big old thumbs up, and please make sure you subscribe. Subscribing will help me so much. You know, I'm trying to get monetized here. It'll help me so much. So I hope that you are taking the steps to live the big, beautiful life that you dreamed of. And until next time, bye.